yeah, let's get to the foggy bottom of this, shall we?
Stay.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep you. I'm working this one. I'm trying to work it into like some
Go ahead,
sentences,
Dad. Go
but
ahead.
We're gonna get to the foggy bottom of this. I
I'll get
love
to the
that.
foggy bottom of this. Anyway, so yeah, so there's been a lot of good journalism. You got the print guys at the Frontier, you got Fox 25 on the TV side, but they've been really hitting this story hard, and it keeps getting worse somehow. But anyway, months before seeking bids, a state tourism official spoke of a deal for Swadley's Foggy Bottom Kitchen to make money from day one.
This must
So
be the politics at play that we don't understand.
yeah, we don't understand
I don't.
how capitalism works.
Right.
So yeah, I mean the short of this story is, I believe out of the $16 million we paid Swadley's, somewhere in the order of 12 million of it possibly was ill-gotten gains, which is a lot out of 16 million. So anyway, basically what it comes down to is in 2019, the contract was awarded in 2020, but in 2019 they started talking to Swadley's and basically had them write the proposal, and they did it in goddamn emails with their state emails. Like how do you do this, guys? How? So you can, read it. I mean, Gino DeMarco, who is a commonly recurring figure in many of these things, basically set up meetings with Brent Swadley and or one of the Swadley's people. I guess Brent was consulted on it. But anyway, and negotiated the contract. And then lo and behold, they're the sole winner of said contract. This is pretty illegal as far as government bidding goes. It certainly isn't anything resembling an open bid process or how the government usually sources services. And it's, a way that you do things that is often rife with corruption and self-dealing. So anyway, yeah, it's all pretty plainly there in the emails. I don't know how you argue otherwise. And now I get why the tourism guy resigned, because, that's definitely not kosher. So
That's not very halal. So
no.
And I just want to say real quick in regards to this, this is like Republicans calling out Republicans for being Republicans. So that's just what it is. It's the Republican not power hour happening right here. And one thing is for certain, I do feel like even prior to this deal coming together, there was a lot of conversation happening on the back end for a while now. Just situations like this does not just occur out of oh, I just happen to love. I'm like Gino. I don't know about you, man, but Swadley's is not the best barbecue in the state of Oklahoma. Let's get that straight up first and foremost.
Literally never even heard of it. And I'm a vegetarian, so I don't know this shit, but literally never heard of it until this scandal came out.
And in Oklahoma, you got you got churches on every corner, you got dispensaries on every corner, you got gas stations on every corner, and to a lesser extent, barbecue places every other street here in Oklahoma. And so if we really wanted to have the best barbecue for the state, because, for the public, you always have to do the best good, we could have done that. But instead, Swadley's Barbecue, a major contributor to the Republican Party and their elected officials, played politics, as many of us do, and got themselves a deal with the state. And I think this article, also talks about Ryan Martinez from Edmond specifically calling them out, which good for you, Ryan. Congratulations. But also, we could have just done so much better. There's so many other options we have.
Yeah, we could have done Billy Sims.
Yeah. There's the barbecue argument. There's also just if you don't want it to look like it's a sweetheart deal for a frequent campaign donor of Republican politics, maybe give it to 4 different restaurants. Maybe give it to a local restaurant that's near the town that it's in. Maybe, there's a lot of ways you could. Or it's not illegal to consult Swadley's and ask questions, but it's
Hey
definitely
man,
illegal to have them write the bid and then get it.
if we can put $100 million into a failing electric company startup, I bet you we could have put $16 million into a failing barbecue startup. Or, I mean, it doesn't cost that much. Like at some point with barbecue, you hit a wall with how bad you fuck up barbecue.
Do you know what state parks these were at? Because it just says that there were like 5 of them at different state parks. But like you said earlier, like they could have just like reached out to local restaurants to whatever city the park is located in, and been like, "Hey, you come in," and you could have uplifted local businesses without like making some weird like political scheme out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's like Robbers Cave and Roman Nose, and I mean, Oklahoma doesn't frankly have all that many like viable state parks, and they were in like that's the real shame to me of this whole thing is like, yeah, it probably did cost millions of dollars to fix everything because you let the restaurants decay into garbage over the years, and then you have to completely redo them and revamp them and all that. But I mean, it's obvious now that Swadley's was way overcharging you and like profiting exorbitantly from this. This article's crazy too because apparently, like the guy that they wrote the bid with tried to extort the company later. Like, just it's so crazy. Like, just it's just such a cluster, like all the way down.
Like they can't also say that they never knew this guy, like either. Like there's
No way.
been previous claims of Kevin Stitt basically saying like, I don't even know who is Swadley? What is a Swadley?
Yeah.
And like this guy also has like a plaque written with a handwritten note from Kevin Stitt. Also, same
There's
people.
pictures with his kids. They
Right.
like Swadley's catered a fundraiser back when they were trying to win Georgia that Stitt was supposed
Right.
at. So I mean, anyway.
So like,
We know who Swadley is.
Yeah, and for the business side of things, I'm sorry, Swadley. It really does suck to be you right now. Like, as much as I mean, y'all ain't the best either. But I mean, y'all probably make better barbecue than I do. I make South Asian barbecue very different. But it's and this is what it's like to do business with the state of Oklahoma. I can only imagine what it's like for any of our other contractors, or I can start to understand why people don't want to do business here in the state of Oklahoma.
I mean, Swadley's just got greedy. I mean, it's just obvious now as more of this comes out that they just saw an opportunity to bilk the government, and they did. So, and like you can blame government incompetence. There's definitely a fair amount of that going around. But it's obvious, too, that Swadley was just a bad actor, took advantage of the situation, and, robbed taxpayers of millions of dollars to pad his bottom line. I mean, these sorts of contracts get written all the time. And so it's not like, it's not unusual for private businesses in these public-private partnerships to make a bunch of money. But, when you just keep going back over and over and trying to run up the cost, I mean, to me, that just shows, you're just trying to scam the government, which is illegal and bad. So
it's just funny that, like, I just think the name of it, Swadley's Foggy Bottom Kitchen, like, now you got a whole ass scandal and everyone's making fun of your name. Probably could have picked a better name, but
what is Foggy Bottom? Like DC has a Foggy Bottom. Like I don't understand why y'all picked this. Like
it's the swamp, baby. It's the swamp.
Well, we're not a swamp here. This is fucking like plains and cross timbers and desert territory. Like, why do you need to? Like, there ain't no freaking swamps.
Yeah,
here.
we don't have like a lot of marshes.
I mean, we have,
and like
I'm
the
sure
southeastern part of the state.
Yeah,
but, like, that's not really like one of the key defining geographical things of Oklahoma. So
I'm gonna go to a state park and can't wait to eat a swamp. Like, yeah.
So
I mean, like, it's not even Shrek, man. Come on.
And so apparently the COO, which I guess let's just bring this up real quick because it's probably the best quick article I can find, was supposed to be subpoenaed to show up yesterday at the House Special Investigative Committee, and he's in the Virgin Islands instead. Admittedly, he's on his honeymoon, which I guess is fine, but I don't know. I mean, my guess is the courts for the peasants out here wouldn't take like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make my court date because I'm on my honeymoon. Like they'd be like,
right,
well,
I didn't think that that's how subpoenas worked. I thought like if they gave you one, you had to come.
Yeah.
But like, I guess that's not true.
I mean, that must have been like an awkward conversation with his wife and being like, "Honey, I can't like go to our honeymoon because I have to go testify on behalf of $16 million."
Yeah, it's like you had a $16 million fuck up. Maybe, shuffle some plane tickets around, buddy. Like, just a guess.
Hey, with the rich, it's a difficult conversation, man. We can't take the private plane. We're gonna have to fly first class. Like, it's just
Stuff.
oh,
Stuff.
man.
Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.